Welcome to the 90th episode of the Wonderspace Podcast, which is a creative expression of a family trust called Panaper. My name is Steve Cole, and since September 2020, I have asked the same 6 questions to over 90 people from around the world. People like former chief scientist at the National Geographic, Jonathan Bailey, who talked about launching the 30 by 30 campaign, designed to convince the world's governments to protect 30% of the planet by 2030. Jonathan suggested we are at around 15% so far. This week's Wonderspace comes from the inaugural Anthropy gathering at the Eden Project in Cornwall, England, where last week 1,200 leaders from all sectors gathered to be part of a launchpad for national change, a summit for the future of Britain. The founder John O'Brien had the highly ambitious vision of attracting senior leaders and influencers to play their part in shaping a new national narrative. I raise a glass to the team at Anthropy and Eden for organising and hosting such a compelling event. It was great to spend time with previous Wonderspace contributors, such as John Elkington and the Volans team, Charlotte Sewell and Matt Hocking, who were on the Boardroom 2030 episode, Cathy Runciman from Earth%, Amy Clarke from Tribe Capital, and Guy and Will from the Blue Earth Summit team. As part of each Wonderspace episode, we ask leaders to lay down their own ideas and brands and to share stories of hopefulness that's not their own, about people, businesses or non-profits who are doing amazing things for the world. It's a powerful expression of interdependence and an opportunity to make a name for someone else. At Anthropy, I approached people with this question: what is your story of hopefulness that's not your own? About a person, business or non-profit who are doing amazing things for the world.
I'm Jenny Usby. I'm the CEO of Ovid Health. We're a health communications agency. My story of hope is that one of our clients, Rinri Therapeutics, is creating, hopefully, the next cell therapy treatment to treat people with hearing loss. And it's stories like this of scientific discovery that give me hope that we can once again be proud of the Britain that we're creating.
Hi, my name's Phil Young from the Eden Project. The story of hopefulness I saw was community action in rural areas. So getting people together, community-owned businesses that might mean there's a long-term strategy to fixing problems like housing, employment, transport, access to the countryside itself, to see that there were people already doing these things and planning on how to approach government to get long-term solutions was very hopeful.
Okay, so my name is Kirsty McIntyre. I work for Diageo. I head up their sustainability organisation there. And my story of hopefulness really is all of the small and medium-sized enterprises, all of the NGOs who help big corporates like myself nudge us along, get the super tankers moving in the right direction. You show us the way, we borrow and steal with pride.
So I'm Julian Saunders, and I'm from All of Us. And my story of hope is I've met a fantastic construction company that are finding the talents of the future from the dropouts of schools. And they're just turning gems out of rough stones. And it's such an exciting way of making young people have a great future, even if they're not academics at the core.
Hi, my name's Jo Appleby and I work with Impact. And my story of hopefulness is that we all individually reach out to people in our own communities who are unsung heroes, and we identify who those people are and we help to share their story.
My name's Tom Harrison. I work for myself, so I run my own organisation called TWSI. But my story of hopefulness is about a company called Rockcore, which is about volunteering, is about activating volunteers. But the key thing is young volunteers and getting them to contribute to their local community in a very special way, and then they get something back which money can't buy. I think it's a genius idea. It's been going a few years. It's not a new thing, but it's definitely something this country desperately needs, which is post-pandemic to remind ourselves that actually good things start at home and in your local community. And if we can do that better, the world will be a better place.
Ed from Regenerate, and my story of hope is a recycling organisation called Recycling Lives that 10 years ago won an award because it employed ex-offenders, homeless people, and wanted to do the right thing. Fast forward to 2019, and it was the EY Entrepreneur of the Year, scaled from 5 million to 300 million because they did the right thing. Amazing.
Okay, so my name is Rachel Musson. I'm the Director of Thoughtbox Education, and my story of hopefulness is an organisation called Aim High, who are working to really support, educate and empower about the climate crisis. They run a series of online courses. They're working with schools, with leadership, with all human beings, and they have the capacity to tell the story with all of its horrors, without fear, without shame, without hiding away from what we need to be looking at, but with the most beautiful sense of empowerment to really help activate us towards the world that we want to be creating.
My name's John Pearce. I'm the Chief Executive of Made in Britain. My story of hope is about a chocolate bar called Tony's Chocolonely. I'm sure lots of other people have said that as well.
That's brilliant. What inspires you about them?
It's the idea with Tony's is really fundamental, actually, to the future, I think, because they want to end child slavery in cocoa farming, and that's their primary objective. I think trying to end something as a business objective is pretty interesting, something for us all to look to and be inspired by.
Andrew Wallace, Unseen UK. My story of hope is actually meeting Michael Hastings, who had brought two young guys with him, who both said in a session, if I hadn't been brought to this, I wouldn't have been able to connect and find the hope that I needed for the future.
My name's Mark Goyder. I'm the founder of Tomorrow's Company, and the person I want to mention is Cressy Wesling, whose business is Elvis and Cressy, has built an amazing regenerative business and is now going into agriculture.
My name's Hannah Cox. My business is the Better Business Network, and my story of hope is Adam Baystock. He's based in Glasgow. He runs People Planet Pint, which is a free sustainability meetup monthly around the UK, sponsored by Crystal Web Hosting. And he also has created something called Small 99, which is a carbon reduction and emissions measuring software for small business owners. So it's an affordable thing for businesses to get involved in. So I think he's great.
So I'm Felix Koch from Within, and my story of hope is listening to Steph from the Good Ancestor movement. And she basically convinces super rich people to use their wealth for good and to divest from their riches that they have earned in unfair ways. And it's a super inspiring story.
So morning, I'm Sarah Walker-Smith. I've been a keynote speaker, keynote listener, and now a keynote actioner from Anthropy. I'm buzzing because I've just left a session from The Big Issue, and I love this whole concept of a hand up, not a hand out. But what they're doing now, which is taking that brand and changing the way we invest our money and pull things together, totally inspirational. I didn't even know they were doing it, and I'm going to reach out more, see what we can do to help.
Yeah, Carl Hansen from the Trust for Sustainable Living. And my story of hopefulness is about Reboot the Future, about rethinking education with love and compassion for the earth. And they've run a few sessions these few days, and they've been really good, and they need more support, and we fully support them. And let's change the world together.
I'm Samar Khanna from Lynn, and I want to give a shout out to Andy Brown from Anglican Water. I think his organization is doing some incredible work on water management and consumption, managing droughts and the wetlands across East Anglia, and I think it's just absolutely fantastic. And with people like him in the UK, I do have hope for the future.
I mean, my name is Stephen Daniels. My company is Clarke Futura, and meeting people here at Anthropy is amazing. One of the people I met this morning was Daniel Brewer, who is doing some amazing things for homelessness and working with charities and things like that, and doing very well. He's doing great things. And to be honest, there's so many people here of that right mindset, all trying to do great things.
I'm Lala Halim. I'm a digital change maker, and my story of hopefulness has to be looking at the incredible talent within the I Will movement with UK youth. These are young change makers across the UK from the age of 10 to 25, driving for great social impact within their community, all championing for a vast array of things when you look at the Sustainable Development Goals, from quality education to decent work and economic growth. These young people really are here at Anthropy, kind of representing that launchpad for change, as in turn we are your future leaders and bosses.
Tyrell Davis Douglin is my name. I'm affiliated with the Hope Collective, and I've got my own community interested company, Mr. Prospect CIC. And my story of hopefulness is my brother back in my community, Ayo. I'm from Croydon myself, and he's from Enfield up north. And he's actually doing music. He's doing music management. He's younger than me. He's like 21 years old, and he's funding himself. What I really respect about this is why it's my story of hopefulness, is because self-appointedness and people growing and seeing issues in their community and growing up, irrespective of their age, to say, I'm actually able to contribute to solving this and actually doing something about it, and actually having a real impact with the youth that he's helping, bringing them into studio to talk about rhyming, positive rap, and getting them to produce content rather than being out in spaces condoning antisocial behaviour and contributing to statistics. He's doing it with no support at the moment. So he's my story of hopefulness, because I believe that that is what it takes to change our village, and he's doing exactly that. If we replicate that, we're also hopeful for the future, man. Let's get it.
Hello there, Councillor Richard Pears. I'm the Cabinet Member for Customers at Cornwall Council. My story of hopefulness has got to be Cornish Lithium. They are developing some fantastic new technology where you pump water down, I think it's about a mile down into the ground. And when you bring that water out, firstly, you extract lithium from it, from which you can make batteries. Secondly, you extract heat from it, from which you can power the local area. And thirdly, you pump the remaining hot water around to all the local houses to heat them. So instead of having to dig a huge, great mine, instead you've got a lithium mine, a power generation and heating, and it's all within a very, very small footprint. That is how you change the world for the better in the future.
Anthony Donaldson. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer at Haygarth Group. And my story of hope is something I heard yesterday that had a profound effect on me, and that was the CEO of Page Group, Steve Ingham, who told his personal story of change and growth and development, and something that happened to him that fundamentally changed his life. How he physically had to lead life, and how that changed him as a leader and the way he thought about the world and the people he wanted to lead and hire. And I found that very, very stimulating, and something that's really energized me and made me feel good about the future. So thank you.
Hi, my name is JP Dalman, CEO of ILA and Partners. And my story of hope is a young leader called Tyrell, and his organization is called Prospect Nation at prospectnation.co.uk, and he is literally working with his community, his young community, to help them build the skills to be able to insert themselves in society, do better, and also understand them, so that he can pass that message on to leaders, politicians, etc. So check out Tyrell's work and support him.
My name is Sarah Langford. I'm a writer and a farmer, and my story of hopefulness is how farming, I think, has the potential to change many of the things that are wrong with our societies, our food systems, our health systems, and climate change. And empowered, I think they can be the source of the solution rather than the source of the problem.
So my name is Richard Templer. My organisation is the Grantham Institute at Imperial College. We work on climate change and the environment. My story of hope is one of the startups we supported. It's called Origin Carbon Solutions. And what they've done is created a lime, which you use in cement and concrete, that is zero emission.
I'm Mike King from Cornish Lithium, and my story of hopefulness is I listened to 3 companies yesterday talking about the way they're doing things differently and talking about building things from the bottom up, not just from the top down, and going viral with good stuff.
Hi, my name is Margaret Heffernan. One of the things I do is I mentor senior executives, and informally I mentor young rising executives, and they give me hope. I'm working particularly with one woman in, a kind of mid-level, not super powerful job, who just decided the company was not doing enough to confront the climate crisis. And she has just pushed her management and her leadership team to do more and more and more. And every time she thinks, this time they'll stop me, and they don't. And this is somebody who doesn't have power, but she uses her learning ability and her ability to build relationships with people, and her great capacity for listening. And she is one person changing a multi-billion-dollar global corporation, and she started all by herself.
I'm Paul Rosen, I'm with Impact International, and my story of hope is the Royal Geographical Society in London. It's my spiritual home, and every great thing that's ever happened has a root in the Royal Geographical Society, so get in there.
Okay, my name is Kieran Colville from United Minds, and my story of hopefulness is I met an amazing man, Alex Hughes, at dinner last night, and he helps in Cambridgeshire, in his little town in Cambridgeshire, helps underprivileged youths essentially get into industry, get into entrepreneurship, get into business, taking them from really a place of no hope to a place of great hope. And I just think it's an amazing initiative he's doing. And I think we need to replicate that in every town and city across the UK.
Hi there, I'm Sam Squire. I'm the Ignition Coach at Inspire to Ignite CIC. We help young people set their own business for free. My story of hope is I work with a young person called Luke who suffers from agoraphobia. And he's currently setting up a business called Give Seeds a Chance, which is biodegradable seed bombs, which you throw on the floor and they grow into wildflowers. And connected to that is obviously he wants to increase wildflowers in our environments to make the world a more beautiful and sustainable place. But 2, that gives him the motivation to go outside. So in 6 months' time, we plan to go for his first walk in 4 years. So that's what gives me hope.
So, hi, I'm Xavier Rees, CEO of Havas, creative advertising agency group in the UK and globally. And I think I've come away from this learning something very powerful from a man called Paul Linley, founder of Ella's Kitchen. He now invests in lots of business, but also does a whole load of work to promote a much brighter future for this country and beyond. The thing I've really taken away is that you cannot measure a society on growth alone. I sort of knew that already, but I go away with huge amount of energy to think on the subject of how do societies measure the success of themselves and their businesses through a mechanism that looks at more than just growth, or looks at growth in a more holistic way.
So my name is Charlotte Russell, and I work here at the wonderful Eden Project. And my story of hopefulness is about Sims Hill Community Farm in Bristol. And they are a wonderful organisation. They're community-supported agriculture, but they're also opening up and providing opportunities for refugees to come back to the land and take on small land-based businesses.
Hey, I'm Daniel Brewer. I'm a Chief Executive of Resonance, and here I am at Anthropy. And my story of hopefulness is just hearing the excitement about the next generation. So Sadiq Khan, Mayor of London, asked about the future, and he said, I am really excited about the future, and it's the next generation, because they are more active and more hopeful and more excited about what they are going to achieve. And also, they're just not going to let us let it get any worse. I've come away really hopeful because my children and their colleagues and this next generation are not despondent. They are full of hope, and we're there to enable that. It's good.
Hi, my name is Mavia bin Sufyan from Governor Investments Limited. My story of hopefulness is for a charity called Care After Combat. Care After Combat was set up a few years ago to support veterans within the criminal justice system. They make up a sizable minority within the criminal justice system, and Care After Combat provides them support while they're in prison, and then up to a year after they're released. They support them and their family members just for housing, for health needs, or any other financial need that they might have.
I'm Dominic Fitch from Impact, and my story of hopefulness is about a local greengrocer in our little community called Hoylake. And I just love the fact that they are all about supporting local growers and local produce, and they have delicious vegetables and fruit.
Hi, I'm Darcy Bustle, and my organisation is DD Dance Fitness for Schools. And what I love about Anthropy and how it's inspired everybody to come together for the better.
What is your story of hopefulness that's not your own? About a person, business or non-profit who are doing amazing things for the world? We would love you to consider recording yourself in under 30 seconds, sharing your story on your phone through your video or your voice memo or recorder app. You can then simply upload the recording to the link on our website, ourwonder.space, and we will share in future episodes. It was such a privilege to spend 3 days at Anthropy, and I want to thank everyone who shared their stories of hopefulness. Join us again next week, where once again we will be orbiting around our 6 questions. Thanks for listening.